Alright, spool you on up here. Alright, it's been revealed that Franc's an asshole, and he beats his wife, so we now move to the morning after the fact. Part 7, Shattered Gates. Scene 1, Shattered Gates. The next morning, Marie sleeps in, exhausted from last night's ordeal. No, not an ordeal, a training lesson. Just a man teaching his wife to be better. That's what Marie thinks, at least. Her divergent thoughts about Franc, that he's not all that great, have been stifled. No one else thinks he's anything but amazing, so the problem is with her. That much is clear. What they do together is normal. What she feels is just her wrongness. She awakens to her phone buzzing on the nightstand. Marie is groggy, but answers. Yawns. Hello. Marie? Hey, Kevin. Marie, I've been trying to reach you all morning. I was sleeping. You sleeping in? What happened to the morning dove I once knew? Like I'll ever remember how he pronounced his character's voice. It's in the coop. Had a long day and just a long day. A nightmare, maybe? Marie's body recalls some of the previous night. It shivers. She attempts to quell it. Her body's still not responding properly. It's going to take a lot of training to fix this. Marie? Yes, I'm still here. What do you want? I wanted to talk to you about something, but you'll need to be here. Can you come over in a few? Marie thinks for a while on this. Should she go over? She's in love with Franc, so there shouldn't be any problem. She's also come around and accepted the ugly sides of married life. The parts you'll find beautiful in time. Eventually, she'll learn to love them. Kevin waits basically for a reply, letting her answer when she's ready. I guess I can drop by. What will we be talking about? April's over here and misses her bestie. I also want to talk about your engagement party. Bea was supposed to tell me how it went, but she's super hangover. A bit of a disappointing designated driver. Wait, did she drive? No, she apparently called an Uber. I should probably just capitalize that. That's about all she could tell me before having to rush to the bathroom. I didn't want to stay on the line for the puking. Poor thing. Bea doesn't usually drink that much. She must be going through hell. She is a strong one. I'll drive by her place today just to be sure. You better. So, about dropping by, should I expect you in 20 minutes? Sure. I haven't seen April since the Midnight Cowboy. She told you no. Wait, of course she did. It was quite a story. Maybe you could share your side. It's a harrowing tale, but I'll put on a good performance. I'll expect a box office hit. I was thinking of a blockbuster, but I'll settle for that. Damn, I knew I should have bought some popcorn. I'll brew up something else instead. I have 20 minutes. In 20 minutes, you'll be on the floor and complete all my majestic show. I can't wait. See you soon. Are you okay? Something in my throat. See you soon. Kevin hangs up. Marie feels at ease, a gross contrast to how she woke up. A good, refreshing talk with a close friend. The cure for any ailment. And she'll be with April, too. Just a few minutes to get dressed, and she'll be good to go. Oh, right, she needs to hide the marks. Kevin will misunderstand. A veil should do, probably black to be safe. She'll say she's practicing for the wedding. Who wouldn't want to subvert expectations and wear a black veil to a wedding? She should really put on makeup, too. There's not much left. Marie really uses this stuff. There's no extra lying around. There's no backup supply. Fortunately, there's just enough to lessen the red lines. She'll need more if she wants to keep her private time with Franc secret. Thoughts for later. In a few minutes, she manages to rush on some clothes. I already mentioned that. A dab of makeup on the marks, and it's all good. Marie drives on over. A few steps up the door and a knock. Kevin enters immediately. He was waiting right next to the door.
That was quick.
I was sitting by the window.
And excited to see me.
As always. So, what's with the veil?
Practicing for the wedding.
A black veil?
It's a new fad. I'm starting it right now.
Huh. Well, if you're practicing, I'll lend a hand. Kevin's left hand launches for the veil. Marie can't act fast enough to turn away. His hand grabs the veil and pulls it up, exposing her face. It looks normal, for the most part. There's just a few places that stand out. Hold on. You really need to learn how to apply makeup. The splotches are obvious, even through your cover.
Kevin, the right to pull back the veil isn't yours. Insulting a woman's makeup, have you no shame?
Are you trying to hide away from me?
I'm here, aren't I?
Marie, I have known you for years. I've been up close with you. I know every piece. This places his right hand on her cheek. Isn't normal or good. I can see the red underneath there. Marie tries to pull away, to head down the steps. Her body, though, isn't responding. Instead, it warms and shivers. Her vision blurs, cheeks running tiny streams, cutting away at the makeup. Her face flushes, heightening the marks she attempted to hide. Her shame has been exposed to Kevin, who noticed despite all of her attempts to cover it up. Marie, you can't live like this. He'll destroy you. Sniffling.
You don't know anything. He's a good man. Everyone loves him.
They love a lie. No good man would do this to his fiancée.
You didn't.
Kevin's gut wrenches. He, too, wells up. The one steady hand on her cheek now trembles. The other hand, still clutching the veil, moves to rest on her head. A gentle stroke, a loving caress. Marie sees the regret in him, and her insides twist. I did. That one mistake cost me everything. It shouldn't have happened, but I can't make excuses. It's my fault. I hurt you so much. I destroyed you. The guilt has never left me, even after we made up and became friends again. Each time we talked, every moment I saw you, my heart was in agony. I couldn't undo the pain I caused, but thought I could help you recover, even in only the smallest way. Kevin is hiding away his truest feelings from Marie. He feels he's not allowed to have them. It's not fair to Marie, whom he hurt. Marie's heart, meanwhile, swells. A need arises. It's guiding her to Kevin, to be closer. This is wrong, she thinks. This isn't how it's supposed to be. He betrayed her. He has no right. No right to make her feel this way. All the emotions she thought were gone are flowing upward from somewhere. Marie thought she had moved past this. I saw how you were with Franc, at some of the parties with our mutuals. I thought you were saved by a hero, a good man whom everyone loves. Then the engagement happened. Then you got engaged. Then you two got engaged. Little by little, your demeanor changed. You were hiding something, a secret that shook you. Your aura of bliss was dimming. After we became friends again, we saw each other a lot more, talked intimately. I knew something was amiss. There was something about Franc you were hiding. Marie's legs nearly give out. She manages to remain firm, refusing to fall into his arms. His warm, kind love. No, stop thinking about that. She tries to stay in control. Her body can't drive her from reality. It's too late. What Kevin's saying is pointless. Their time is done. Marie belongs to Franc now. In every way. Her heart churns just thinking about this, but her heart's wrong. She's supposed to be in love with Franc. Italics. She's not supposed to feel this way for anyone else. I use supposed twice. That's fine. She shouldn't feel relieved to hear Kevin's voice, shouldn't feel welcome when she sees his face, shouldn't feel safe when he's near, shouldn't feel like she can tell him anything, shouldn't feel like someone truly understands or loves, or that a man can make a mistake and her in its place. Marie's mind shuts off. I've known for months that he's been abusive. It was clear today. You aren't at ease when he's around. It's light, but you tense up just a bit when he's close by, and when he touches you. You clearly don't feel safe. You've tried to hide this, but your body quietly shouts to me. I've seen you wear more makeup than when we were together. I didn't know the extent, but those marks were obvious, even with your attempts to hide them. He's also controlling. He wouldn't let you bring some fruit to April's party, given that he'd already chosen the food. His only friends are his managers, those who can offer him a better career. The man is playing everyone, especially you. You're not happy. You've become hollow. Where's my Marie? Where's the woman who showed me what happiness truly was? With her brain off, Marie's body acts on its own. She goes into autopilot. All the control she tried to muster has disappeared. It goes in autopilot. Her body falls forward, unable to support itself anymore. Everything Kevin has said has been like a punch, knocking away the filth that smothered Marie's heart, breaking the chains that have kept her silent, kept her locked away. Kevin catches her, holding the troubled woman in a loving hug. He strokes the back of her head, breathing gently. He just holds her, saying nothing. He holds her, saying nothing. Minutes pass in this doorframe. Doorway. Marie's mind is locked in a spiral, uncontrollably unwinding everything. She's supposed to love Franc, but Franc used to be different. He was kind, attentive, funny, caring, even loving, she thought. He was a good man. After engagement ring, things changed. He started this whole master thing, saying he was spicing things up. The newspaper was a weird turn, but it felt right. It all fits so naturally. This was Franc. This was the man she loved. Manipulation. That's all this was. He put on an act. He got her to agree to marry him, and that's when he stopped pretending. He keeps up this farce in public to get what he wants out of people. As his fiancée, Marie's gotten to see the true Franc. The true Franc. He makes people dependent on him, then takes control. All the while, they think they need him and lose their independence. That's what happened to Marie. It's likely what happened to his managers. It's likely the same with his managers. They don't realize this, of course, much like how Marie never did. All this master stuff is just exerting his need to control, to be in power. Marie can't stomach the thought of him becoming a manager. He's only been with that company for 2 years. It has dug in so strongly, deeply, that he's up for promotion already. He's truly gifted. Kevin's right about the other things. Marie doesn't feel right with him. He takes control of everything, even what food she can bring to a party. Yesterday as well. There was little fruit to choose from, but lots of breads that Franc likes. Do I want to italicize that? The breads that Franc likes. Yeah, I like that delivery. He even left her to handle the booze on her own. They could have finished it together. They greeted everyone as a couple. Then there's whatever he does in the study. He's not working with his manager friends, burning the midnight oil. He doesn't go out with them either. Just what is he doing? What is this secret life he's hiding? Too many thoughts. Too much to unravel. Marie's head spins as it dives deeper and deeper into this hole. She feels the strokes to her head, snapping back to reality. She's in Kevin's arms. A loving feeling she's not had in ages. Still reeling from all of this, her mental control is shattered. Without a thought, she lifts her head up, teary eyes looking up to Kevin's. Much the same. He turns to look at her. Marie lifts up on her toes, a hand reaching for Kevin's cheek, landing softly, her mouth moving up to his, and his down to hers. Smooch? A tiny kiss, but one that breaks open the final lock on Marie's heart. She moves in again, pressing her lips in. There they stay for the time being. Kevin stops stroking her head, instead holding it there, cushioning her. Her lips leave for just a moment, but press in again. Marie slowly moves both arms around Kevin's neck, squeezing them together, pressing her palms into his back. Kevin steps backward, moving both of them into the home. Marie kicks the door closed. At this point, they act naturally, letting their emotions, their love, take over. Scene 2, Bed Talk. 30 minutes later, they're lying together in bed, holding one another tenderly, lightly stroking their hands. It is here that Marie tells Kevin everything. Her thoughts of the above paragraphs come to light. And to the person she trusts most, loves most. This is the start of their affair. Up to this point, they've kept things in check. As much as Kevin has told Marie he'd be there for her, as much as she felt something stirring, they kept themselves from pushing past the friend barrier. They both felt the same, but knew it wasn't right. Although, this is just in regards to a physical affair. Their feelings have been squished down for some time. But is it really an affair? Marie was never truly in love with Franc. The Franc she fell for isn't real. So how do you cheat on an imaginary fiancé? They briefly touch on this, but stop. It doesn't matter. They love each other. Fully. Truly. Franc is a manipulating bastard. The feelings between Marie and Kevin are real, strong, unbreakable. They are the key. These are the key to their happiness. That's all that matters. Fuck Franc. The topic moves on to Marie's fortune, something she was defined a year ago by a very gifted young girl. It came true. The dark times have ended.
I can't believe I thought it was about you.
She did say you were in a dark place, not that you were already on the way out.
Well, you know how cryptic these things can be.
It was clear on my fortune cookie, and it came true.
Of the hundreds you've had.
I'm not picky. The two laugh. Marie keeps jabbing at Kevin over the cookie. He got it 3 months ago, and it read, "A love is never lost. It may take a lap, but it always comes back." It's hard to believe that something like this can happen, but these two believe in full. Alright. They both believe that fortune is going to be real, no matter what the source. But they do. Okay, I have to adjust this. They know it to be possible. Okay. As was the case with Marie's. The girl at last year's Carnival was dead on. The conversation moves on to this point. This is also Marie's last good memory of Franc. Of faux Franc, as they refer to him. She talks about that day in full. Scene 3. A Carnival at Carnival? It is May 28th, 2004. The streets of San Francisco buzz with life, laughter, dancing. Carnival. The first day is as vibrant as a forest of flowers. Many costume paraders do their dances throughout the city. Onlookers watch, video, and join the vibe twirling on the sidewalk. The sky is clear and the weather is a fair 65 degrees. The weather is a bit rough, the wind is a bit rough, but few seem to notice or care. Amongst the crowd is Marie and Franc. 1 year, nearly to the day, they have been together. Now to enjoy such a grand festival on their anniversary. Could this be any more perfect? Today they watch and have fun. Tomorrow they dance. Their costumes are ready, and they'll dance to earn the honor of becoming king and queen. They watch the parade, waving to the beautifully garbed women. They share a hot dog, ending with a kiss and a nod from one of the parading men. With a kiss. Alright, I have to adjust this because it sounds like the pretty men's kissing them. Pretty man gives a nod to this. Marie, embarrassed, hurries away. Franc smiles and follows behind. She blindly walks behind another couple, nearly exiting the parade area. The couple point out an odd sign and continue onward past it. Marie wakes up and stops, peering at this sign. It reads, "This way, the grandest carnival at Carnival."
Carnival? Really?
Some extra fun and games then?
I don't think this is an official carnival.
But there are people heading over there, and I hear no cries of foul. Let us see if this place is any fun. Why not?
It seems shady, but if you're willing to explore, I'll be right beside you.
Hold on for dear life. This may be a bumpy ride. Marie stands on the side of Franc, holding firm to the entirety of his right arm. The two venture down the street and turn at a second sign by a wide alley. Just a little ways down are a couple of booths. One has jugs, the other has squirt guns and clown mouths. Between sits a single man in a windbreaker. Before him is a table holding 3 large softballs, and behind is a chest. The two Marie follow depart, returning to the parade. She and Franc, however, are more adventurous. They approach. The man looks up, exposing his grumpy expression. Franc leads Marie up to the jugs booth. Really, did I mention that properly? Yeah, jugs, alright. The table sits 2 feet from the wall. Atop stands a 6-jug pyramid. 6 feet in front is a repurposed barrier from the parade, blocking patrons from getting too close. Ah yes, the softball and the jugs.
I'll take the first crack.
Well, can you handle this?
I'm a local. I think I can handle it.
I'm a local. Alright, I have to adjust this. I used to handle it twice. Can you handle this? I'm a local. Knock these down like... They're in San Francisco, so that would be... the Giants. I'll knock these down like a Giants pitcher. I'm Alex, the caretaker of this carnival. That'll be $3 to try this game. Ray reaches into her purse, but Franc touches her hand, shaking his head. I will pay. This was my idea, after all.
Your investment.
Also meaning my loss.
I'm not going to lose.
That is certain. They won't be very light, and this breeze will likely throw off your aim.
I'm a carnival champ. Don't you believe in your girlfriend?
Well then, please show me your victory pose.
Gladly.
Franc gives the man $3. Alex pushes the bowl forward. Okay, it's a bowl. Did I mention bowl? Say table. The table with a bowl atop, holding 3 softballs. Behind the table and man is a chest. Okay. Marie picks up the first one, holding it in a firm grasp. She assumes a pitching position, readying her arm behind her, focusing on her target. The hedge to topple first. Marie shows her fastball, and quick it is, for it launches from her hand and strikes true. Thunk. The jug falls over, unable to withstand such a force. The two below wobble precariously. Good shot, ma'am. How about seeing if you can do that again?
In a moment.
Well, there's a time limit.
Oh, is there? Didn't say anything about that, did he, Franc?
Not that I heard. Is there a problem with that waiting? Just for a minute. Her arm is awfully tired after that pitch.
Oh, I'm not tired at all. I just wanted to wait, taking the breeze a little.
Marie closes her eyes and breathes deeply. A strong breeze washes by. Is there another word for breeze? I'm gonna have to check that, because I use it way too much in here. Apparently not. Gust and gale. Alright, that works. I want that back again. Strong gust washes by, nudging the loose jugs. They wobble. Thunk thunk. The middle row falls over, exposing just the three at the bottom base. Marie smiles as she opens her eyes.
All right, I think I'm good again.
Oh, no. The wind did that, not you. I'm replacing them.
Oh, no, you're not. They wouldn't have fallen over if I hadn't shaken them with my headshot. They're on the ground because of me.
You don't control the wind. The game is about knocking these over the softballs. Using the breeze is cheating. I use breeze too much again. Alright. So it looks like gust and gale are the other ones to work with. Softballs using God, I don't like how many wind, breeze, wind. Alright. I guess I can keep it for this.
Ow.
It just is. I'm replacing him. End of story.
Cheater.
What did you say?
Cheater, pumpkin eater.
Marie's face pouts out, leering at the man, arms crossed. She's not having any of this shit. You're the cheater. That's it. Game's over. Get out of here.
You can't just open a stall like this and rob the customers. Give me back my money at least.
I'm keeping it for the damage you've done to my mind. No refunds anyway. Can't you read the sign? Alex points to a sign at the clown booth. It reads, no refunds. Marie tenses, feeling like she's lost all control of the situation. A sense of defeat about her. Franc holds up his hands and approaches Alex. That does not make this into an ugly fight. If I may interject, I think I can resolve this without further argument. I'm not returning the money. No need. We plan to continue the game, but after we fix this problem, I think I have a solution. And that is, do you not have some sheets? What? To hold up and block the wind. Block the gales. Oh, not this shit again. No, not that shit. Let me ask you a question. Why do you have this stand open to the air? You can feel the wind, can you not? Clearly, it would interfere with the jugs. I don't have anything to block it with, and yet you have this stall. You do nothing to protect it from the elements, yet you expect the jugs to be affected by just the softball? Let's see, wind, breeze, gale. We'll saw there. Gust blow over some lovely jugs. You allow this to happen, then cry foul? Like I said, I have nothing to block that yet. You can do another game. I see water clowns to the right. Why not fill many jugs with water and use ping pong balls? They throw, if it lands in a jug, they get a fish. I don't have 100 jugs. Besides, baseball is an American pastime. Just an idea. You have all sorts of options. You can also block the wind with a cardboard cutout of a sports star. Or maybe another table. You have many choices available. Besides, there's no sign saying you replace the jugs if the wind hits them, yes? The wind blows them, yes? I can't stop the breeze. It's San Francisco. There's always a breeze. Then why set up the game if there's no wind to keep the jugs away from the wind? Franc presses right up against the barrier, getting face to face with Alex. Franc's eyes stare directly into his, a solid glare. The man takes a slight step back. His body tenses. A slight shaking starts. He feels a threatening aura from his gaze. That's a typo. Alex tries to look away, darting his eyes wherever they can hide. It couldn't be that you would perhaps blame the wind if someone won. An excuse to force them to throw again? Of course not. The sign does say no refunds. As participants, we agreed to do this. Do we not? Yeah. Then you agree to not refunding her throw, yes? What? You don't return our money when we cry foul. Therefore, you don't return our throw. And replace jugs when you cry foul, yes? That's not what the sign means. Does the sign explain this? Well, no. Then we all have this sign. Any lawman in this city would agree that the sign is quite vague, yes? Wait, lawman, no, we're not going there. Of course we're not. All we have to do is call up the 911
And that's by the legality of a carnival stall, shoddily set up and run by a single man, near Carnival and using one of the parade areas for himself. I'm sure they'd be quite interested. Alex immediately descends into fear. His quivering lips, shaking legs, and paling face expose the truth. This is a bootleg setup, likely meant to earn him some easy money. He definitely has no permits, and has clearly borrowed a piece of the parade. Franc steps back, letting off the pressure, showing he can be kind too. We don't need to do that. Just let us finish the game. If you disagree with the outcome, give me back the $3. We don't have to make a fuss about all this. It's Carnival. Alex apprehensively looks to Marie. Her frown is replaced with a smile. She beams righteously at him, her valiant knight having saved the day. That is agreeable. Then we are in agreement. Pardon? Yes, she has the other two. Go ahead. Alex sits in the chair, having feared away a few years of his life. Marie easily tosses the softballs and knocks down the other last 3 jugs. Well done, well done. But I must say, you have impressed me today. You impressed me. Defending a Lenny's honor is a big deal. I am a proper gentleman. Bows. If only you hadn't doubted me before. This would have been perfect. A man lives and he learns. Though we have yet another game. Shall we compete in clowns? I glances at Alex. Don't think that's a good... No, go ahead. You can play that one. Let me give you a free game. As an apology. This one is normal. Normal. Sounds good to me. If it's really fun, I'll bring some friends tomorrow. And maybe a bedsheet. I'll have one. I'll bring mine. And it's settled. The clowns? Marie giggles and sits at the clown booth. Franc takes the other seat and Alex sets them up. This is a standard affair. Shoot it into the mouth until the balloon is full. Marie lights up her shot. Franc casually aims straight ahead, not realizing his mistake. As a man, I have much experience with aiming. This shall be a whole cake. I never lost a game of post tag as a kid. All right. 3, 2, 1, go. Franc's gun squirts out, but falls really short. He cranes it upward, quickly fixing this error. Marie, however, was aimed perfectly, giving her an easy lead. Early lead. Franc pulls as hard on the trigger as he can without breaking it. He attempts to distract her with some banter. I've made many a woman burst. So, too much at once. Learn to pace yourself. They couldn't handle what I had to offer. By the looks of it, it was too loose. A weak stream. It only took a moment to reach full strength. Where's the fun in that? No foreplay? Ring. Marie has won the game. A complete and perfect victory. Franc is taken aback. She's bested him. He can't let her get a big head over this. He needs to assert himself back on top. Assert himself, get back on top. Good job, ma'am. A prize for the winner. Alex grabs a penguin plushie from a box and hands it over. The chest. It's not brand new. Looks kind of old and worn. Smells freshly washed, though. Who knows how long he's been holding on to this childhood toy. Marie opens her purse, stuffs it inside, and zips it up. She'll find some use for this thing, maybe. Thanks. Finished already? I can keep going. You think women wanted to last forever? Marie stands, done with this excursion. Just a little longer. You weren't up all the way yet. Come again. The two head off, returning to Carnival. Alex sits back down, evaluating his life choices. It takes time to warm up. My company isn't enough. Is it enough? On its own, no. Oh? Marie stops and turns to face her boyfriend. That was quite a remark, and not one she's going to let slide. You better have a good reason for saying that. The longer we're together, the higher the passion in a man's heart. No woman wants a guy who claims love just after a few minutes, yes? Well, you're not wrong. 1 year tonight, we met. A coffee, a chat. Now this, Carnival. Celebration, happiness, love. 2 boys in love. Doves. Me and you. Oh, you don't have to say that. Look, everyone. I am in love with this woman. You cannot have her. She chose me. This announcement draws some eyes. Some nearby clap, others cheer. Some whistle and wink at Marie before being elbowed by their partners. Marie turns, grabs Franc, and pulls him down another side path, away from the crowd. She's just been shot with some embarrassment and needs a break. You made your point. How about you grab some snacks? I'll wait here. Not coming with? And I trust you to make the right choices. The crowd would be disappointed. They'd want their queen. We haven't won yet. I'm not a public queen. I'll let you handle the people while I stay in the shadows. You belong in the light. It is a crime to rob the world of your beauty. But as you wish, my lady, I shall attend to the people. Franc kisses Marie's hand, then walks back down the path. He disappears into the crowd, looking for a food booth. Scene 4. A Fortune. Marie's heart throbs, swelling her ruddy, flushed face. Did he really just do that? Announce his feelings to a crowd of strangers? Did he tell them that Marie's his? He said, love? Easily, too. No hesitation, just put it all out there. Her body can't take this. So many feelings are rushing forward. Erratic thoughts and ideas. What does he love about her? How much love does he have? What does she love about him? Does she love him? She's certainly feeling it. Has felt something like this for a few months. Does he really love her? Is this how love is supposed to be? Marie's thoughts continue to spin. She wanders around the path, aimlessly walking further down, blindly at this point. Bump. She walks right into someone. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I was just, Marie looks away from this person she just hit. The person she just hit. Still trying to avoid eye contact with anyone. Still reeling from her thoughts. The person is a little shorter than her and dressed in a large orange robe. Her face is hidden, but long blonde hair streaks out. Two hands, each with a different colored bracelet, come forward and gesture to Marie. It is providence that you have come before me, Chelsea the clairvoyant. A destiny, one might say, and one that I can reveal, if you so wish. Chelsea gestures to a chair on her right. On the other side is a chair with a cushion and a blanket. Between them is a table draped in a violet cloth. The breeze tries to steal it, so the cloth stays. The frequent gusts try to steal it, but the cloth stays. It is weighed down by a crystal ball, a box containing some cards, and a Ouija board. Marie, brought to attention by the words clairvoyant and destiny, looked down at this girl. Destiny, I just bumped into you, that's all. It is from such humble beginnings that a grand fate unwinds. No one ever expects great events to occur in the present. Only the future. In the future. A future wished for, but never seems to come. A dream, a thought, a desire. When these come to fruition, it is seen as a surprise, something not envisioned in your wildest dreams. Yet it is something you've wanted for ages. How can this be a surprise if you already knew of it? The talk floors Marie. She's always had an eye for fortunes, a chance to maybe see a glimpse of the future, even just a possible one. She's loved the idea since she was a little girl. This young woman knows her stuff, more than any she's ever heard. Any others she's ever heard. Can she be legit? Well, we just don't expect them to come true. That's all. And I guess anything could be the start of something greater. A start is never seen coming. It is only afterward that one can peer backwards and ponder. For most, the future is unforeseeable. For me, though, it can be glimpsed. Chelsea takes her seat against the wall, covering her legs with a blanket. She gestures for Marie to follow. She quickly sits. Marie lowers her hood, revealing her youth, a girl, a teen, just 14 years old, yet she is wiser than her years. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Chelsea,
a maiden of 14 years. I have been gifted with the sight all my life, inherited from my grandmother. She taught me everything she knew. It is but fortuitous that you have come to me when you did. Any longer, and the ravens may have stripped you bare. Ravens? The flock gathered over yonder. They seemed very hungry at the words of your mate. But that was just, it's just something that happened. A sign, I would say. Is it? A sign of what? To peer into its meaning is to glimpse at a time yet to pass. Channeling such a thing is tiresome, but I tend to feel better when receiving a donation.
Marie now notices the sign. Fortunes, $2 per reading per person. Marie briefly thinks of the jacketed man, but he was clearly just a con man. He's clearly a con man. This woman, though, she's legit. Marie pulls out $2 and places it on the table. Marie's left hand immediately clasps onto Marie's, a gentle touch. Her right pockets the money as the left turns Marie's hand over, thumbing her palm.
A small tributary to your palm lake. A sign of things coming together into a bigger picture. That little show shall become a grand performance.
Marie immediately thinks about tomorrow, the grand dance. Their costumes are ready, and they'll be working hard, determined to become king and queen of Carnival. A grand performance indeed. Though, how does this relate to Franc shouting his love? Marie thinks for a moment. Chelsea must mean that he has grander plans for her. That must be it.
So, he has something bigger planned for me? Whether planned or preordained, something incredible lies in your future. Oh.
Marie is caught in this web. She is convinced Franc's will outdo his last declaration. But what could it be? No, definitely not. They've only known each other for a year. He's not planning to... No, it can't be. Chelsea catches on to Marie's expression. She's not used to people actually going along with this so easily. She hasn't even broken out the cards yet. More importantly, though, she's curious about what Marie's thinking. The look on her face screams expectation and doubt.
I can feel there's a maelstrom inside of you, a chaotic storm, pulling you apart. Perhaps we can delve deeper and find an oasis. That sounds good. Let's do that. Oh, right, another $2. That won't be necessary. Your energy is seeping into me, granting great strength beyond simple money. You are gifted yourself. Am I? No control you have, but a blessing you are to many. Your friendships are blooming, and many, are they not?
Blessing you are to others.
They are. I have dozens of good friends. You see, I'm a blessing to them. Our friends, not lights in the darkness for their fellows. Yes, you're right, we are. Next, we will venture into the gods. They will grant a focus for the crystal ball. What do you have for me, oh wise one?
Chelsea grabs the deck and shuffles. She mixes them together into a pile, gathers, flip shuffles, cuts a deck, and puts it down in 2 stacks. She then draws from the left stack, revealing a woman lying down by a lake. Marie thinks about their palm lake. This must be related.
Yes, it's the bathing maiden, purifying herself for a test yet to come. The streams in your palm told of many small things gathering for a grander event. This card says that you will be preparing for something. When the time is right, your test will arrive. You must be careful to avoid drowning.
Marie now knows that this refers to the performance. She and Franc have been practicing for a month. She won't lose. Can't lose. She's now more determined than ever. Before her thoughts can get any further, Chelsea gestures to the right stack. Marie very slowly and tentatively draws a card. It is of a man sitting on a lion and holding a face. It reads, The Fool. Her heart sinks. Does this mean they'll lose the dance, making fools of themselves?
Ah, the Fool. Your future holds an embarrassing secret. Something that will change you. This is why you must purify yourself, to remove this from chance. I wish you well on this venture. You now have the foresight to do something about it.
Is there something specific, though? I've done so much work. I can't let this fail.
Perhaps I can dive a bit further before we look directly. Your thoughts and choices, made now, will change the fabric of fate, as it always does. Share with me what you've done, and I'll see what I can do. For this, I'll need a special crystal ball. This one operates off of vague information, so keep your details generic. Otherwise, this won't work.
Alright, magic 8-ball time. Chelsea reaches a hand under the table and rests on her lap. Marie can't see it, but trusts the girl. Marie starts explaining the situation. Chelsea looks to her lap on occasion, then looks up to answer. I have been working for a month on this. Will it be enough?
The outlook isn't good. It appears that your efforts are falling short. How often do you practice?
How often did you do this? Alright. Every day, or 2 hours. I thought maybe I should have pushed to 3, but...
I was trying to point to yes. You should have spent more time.
Crap! I blew it, haven't I?
Don't count on it. You have yet to take the test. Other factors yet remain.
What factors?
What else have you done?
I watched some things to help me. To inspire me. Does it help?
It is decidedly so. Watching is sometimes more valuable than doing. While your body rests, you watch, and you spend another hour working.
That's so smart.
Anything else?
I worked with someone else. I'm sure we helped each other.
It is hazy. Try again. One more session together should iron out the problems.
We were thinking of doing just that. Maybe tonight?
Very doubtful. Before dark, let the light guide you.
That's a good idea, actually. I'll tell him.
Now that we've delved a bit into this and gained a focus, we can look forward. The crystal ball is not a TV. It is difficult to discern the truth as we perceive through our own biases. However, I was trained by a master, and have yet to fail finding the path. Now, let's see what your future holds.
Chelsea waves her hands over the crystal ball, focusing her eyes on its surface. They sharpen. Her mouth opens a tad. Her motions blur and become rhythmic, almost in a trance.
I see another. The young man you were just with. A fate intertwined with yours.
Marie blushes, her heart aflutter. They will dance together, sure, but what if afterward? She's been thinking of nothing but the dance since fortune started. That and the nope. Stop thinking about that. That's so far off. Something she'll look back at in the future. Marie's mind stops, realizing what she just thought. Is this dance the beginning of their engage? She can't think it, yet she can't stop. Their lives up to this point, the happy times, never fighting, the dream, the perfect match for soulmate. Chelsea easily catches on to this in context of what happened just before they met.
A soulmate, I believe.
That's not so special.
Very few can bind souls. There are others, likely, but this one is before you.
This one, not the other. Never mind.
Bonds of souls are hard forged, not easily broken. A great strain you endured, pulling you away. Or perhaps it was the other who broke from you. Regardless, you have a new strand binding together with...
Did she ever say Franc before here? No, we're not going to do that.
With this man. It is very strong, perhaps unbreakable.
Never again. This time for sure.
Your threads bind tightly, a woman's curse. We think nothing can undo them, no tongue strong enough. And yet, in our recesses, in our core, we know this not to be true.
This not to be true. That sounds mysterious when it's worded that way.
A fear, ever present, just pushed aside. Perhaps we veil ourselves to the obvious, or just to the little clues that scream out. Your thread was bound for a time, but a tiny tug pulled it free.
I was cut in two. My world split. Everything I felt are memories, burnt up. In that moment when I saw them together, I was robbed by both of them.
That is in the past. Your present holds true to your mate. Your future. Let us look further.
Ray looks back to the ball, hoping for something good. Franc's been a godsend in her darkest hour. Certainly nothing remains to challenge them. Chelsea did say a test was to come, but it relates to the dance. Are they going to fail and it's going to divide them? It's an absurd idea, but Marie can't take any risks at this point. She will have to mentally prepare herself for anything.
A tremor was your past, a parade your present, and a cyclone your future.
Oh, a cyclone?
Let me explain. The tremor we just discussed.
Yes.
The parade refers to now. You feel the boundless joy of love, a carnival of emotions, at Carnival of all places. This is of importance, for two identical concepts are together in one place. Something incredible is to occur. By the end of this festival, you will reach your peak yet untouched. The vibrance of Carnival lives within your heart, as it does for many. A love, pure and sweet, dancing within in many forms, no different than those in the streets down the ways.
Yes.
Your future, I am uncertain about this one. The cyclone is a dark omen, but can mean many things. It may last for minutes, hours, days, any amount of time. An unpredictable catastrophe may also change your view of the world. Perhaps for the better, perhaps for the worse. However, like a quake, it will not last forever. There is that hope, at least.
And I will overcome the cyclone. Franc and I are destined lovers. He saved me from the darkness. I can do this.
Maybe just a tiny peek further down. I am quite curious now. Shall we venture together?
Marie nods, unable to refuse at this point. It is dangerous to know too much about the future, but she needs this. For her and Franc's eternal happiness, she must learn all she can. Chelsea's motions intensify, a dance of their own. Marie briefly thinks that maybe Chelsea should join in the grand dance, but pushes that thought aside. Business first.
A flower blooming once more after a hearty winter. This is good.
Then we'll be all right.
I believe the cyclone refers to a darkened land you must travel. No light to guide you, just your own senses and those close to you. The land is not infinite, and a straight path will quickest lead to a bright horizon. Stay true to yourself, and you will find your way over the mountain, into a field of flowers waiting to bloom. Waiting for you.
And we know she did not do that, so, yeah. Marie is lost in herself, thinking of every way to save her relationship. Once again, she's zoned out from reality. When a hand rests on her shoulder, she jumps. She's not alone, for the girl is also jarred reality, too caught up in the fortune. Behind Marie stands Franc, holding a 4-drink holder. It supports 2 sodas, some peanut butter, and carrots. What are they doing here? A fortune reading?
Yes, a good one. Chelsea is truly gifted with a sight.
I'm exclamation pointing that one.
Well, fortune reading is not real. No offense, young girl, but we cannot get wrapped up in fancy tales.
Franc, you've not seen what I've seen.
You have been doing the seeing.
Well, Chelsea has.
See?
Franc, can you not?
It is all right. He can think whatever he wishes. We know what's real.
You're right. We do.
Marie stands up and reaches into her purse. She tips Chelsea $10. The girl pockets it.
Thank you for helping me.
You will help yourself, as that is not my role. I am here to give you a glimpse of your future, so you may act in time, ensuring the knot stays tied and that nothing impedes you this time. That is what we do as tellers of fortunes. We grant hope to the lost, second chances to some, a way to prevent disaster. Awareness to others, for many have lost their sixth sense. It was my pleasure helping you, but remember, you must choose to take this precaution. Your future is yours to mold.
Marie, very pleased, heads off. She will never forget this day, this meeting with Chelsea, and the warning she's learned. Franc stays behind briefly, eyeing over the booth.
I saw what you did back there. Good work. A woman's gotta be shown grand feats of love. Her fate is bound with yours.
Yes, we've been dating for a year, and I do love her, as I've professed. That your fortune show us happily after.
Frank, we should get going. Chelsea, thanks for everything.
You're welcome.
Looks to Frank and whispers,
You're destined to our good.
You're good little girl. Good luck with your stories. Frank takes his leave. Marie grasps his arm once more, leading her head into his shoulder. The two venture off into the crowd. Chelsea puts her magic 8-ball back under the table and tosses the cards into the box. She does love giving hope to women, as she'd expect to receive herself when she's an adult. She also likes a little pizzazz she can add on, the flair, the stories. It works out regardless. If she can make people happy and earn a little money, then why not? Watching the couple leave, she speaks quietly to herself, unbeknownst to all.
That is one good guy. She's really lucky. I'm sure they'll weather whatever storm is to come. I really need to learn how to get a guy like that.
All the boys at school just stare at Sydney. The duo return to the parade, enjoying themselves. After a couple more hours, Marie suggests they call it early so they can finalize their dance routine. She's very adamant that any and all wrinkles are ironed out. Frank is very supportive of this idea. They leave and spend 5 hours practicing, ensuring that nothing stands in their way of their victory. And now for misfortune. Scene 5, King and Queen. The second day of Carnival bears witness to the King and Queen competition. Men and women don amazing costumes and dance to their band's music. Marie and Frank have earned the right to dance for the animal-themed band. Their costumes are ready, tailored to fit them. It's time to shake their socks off. A lion takes the stage. Perhaps a cousin to the coward. He looks very similar. His face paint is right of the mark. However, his demeanor is strong, not wimpy. He stands in the street, looking over his shoulder, waiting his partner. What emerges is a very flamboyant peacock, tail feathers gently flowing from side to side. No paint on this one. It's not necessary, for the costume tells it all. Marie and Frank stand beside each other, in full confidence that they'll outfox everyone here. In quick order, the music takes off. The two strut their stuff. It is a bit forced to start, but becomes more fluid after a few minutes. They begin to separate, naturally flowing with everyone else. This is when the disaster begins. Frank's face paint is itchy, but he can force that down. The sun, however, is beaming straight into his face. The paint below his eyes is reflecting the rays straight in. He tries his best to look away, but just about everything in sight is glancing light at him. He squints, and his face contorts from all the itching. This impacts his dance, as he can't see where he's going easily. Nearly tripping a few times and bouncing off some other dancers, he begins to regain his rhythm. Unfortunately, the damage has been done. Further unfortunate, his costume's appearance has not escaped the crowd. "Coward!" a yell from the crowd. "Quite a cowardly dance!" Another calls out to the line. Gawking, jokes, and finger-pointing, Frank is assailed by a social attack. A teen joins the fray. "It's the cowardly lion! I'd recognize that wincing face anywhere!" The costume and the effects of the makeup have turned Frank's strong lion into the spitting image of a more cowardly one. Well, Frank, even more unfortunate, has never seen The Wizard of Oz. He has no idea referring to a movie, believing instead that this is a direct critique. He loses his focus, desperate to not let the crowd have its way. His moves take the ferocity of a lion, or so he tries. He comes off as goofy as aloof. The crowd's jabs get worse. Marie is faring better in one way, worse in another. Walking in this suit was doable, if done in a straight line. The tail feathers are tall and have some metal spines inside that keep them straight. This weight adds up. With With each turn, the feathers list, and Marie with them, nearly toppling over. The costume's body is heavy and a bit wonky. Marie can't control this momentum. Even with a basic strut, she falls half over and scrambles to stand back up. This alone is not the end of the problem. Her attempts to stand back up are desperate, a quick jerk. That moment is very strong, and again, she can't control the momentum of this suit. She falls backwards away, back to where she started. This repeats itself a few times, as hard as she tries to learn how to work the suit. Some laughs come her way, but she is mostly ignored. Marie is falling apart on the inside. Let's do this. Falls apart on the inside. She and Franc worked so much on the routine, even finalizing it yesterday. The fortune looked good, but the mysterious other factors have done their work. Her costume is like trying to control a wrecking ball. The sun is blinding her boyfriend, the makeup forcing him to make awkward faces. These costumes are terrible. They look amazing, but that is only appearances. How is anyone supposed to dance in these? The beautiful peacock is too much to live up to. They become an embarrassment, doomed to being a YouTube blooper video. The two keep up this comedy act for 10 minutes, slowly falling away into oblivion as another group of dancers rally the cheers. Marie and Franc slow down, just trying to walk away without falling over. They push the crowd, unfortunately too engrossed in the good dancers to care. Eventually, they reach a nearby parking garage, hiding away. Here, they let loose their frustrations.
Stupid! Americans have no sense or taste. How could they be so blind as to laugh at my passionate dancing?
It's not that, it's weird. Marie looks at the cowardly lion, now a fuming lion. The resemblance is uncanny. She can't stop herself from letting out a laugh, cusping her mouth.
And you too, I have been betrayed by my own girlfriend. Or maybe just a friend, I should say. A bad one.
Marie's heart drops, fear setting in. Did he just say that? Does he really mean it? Is this the test? Not the dance itself, but the aftermath? The reality of the situation immediately strikes like a shiv to the gut. She can't take any risks, not in this cyclone.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean it that way. It's just, I know why they were laughing. Not because of you, but these stupid costumes. It's not fair. They look great with a band to consider how we can dance in them. Your makeup is probably done, too. Who puts that stuff on when it's sunny out? We were sabotaged.
Bah, what is the sabotage? I feel like a real lion. If it were anything less, would I put it on? But the costume is amazing. But you can't hold a candle to this extravagance. Why did we practice if you're just going to screw it all up?
Marie is hurt by these words, but sucks it up. She gives the reason he's angry at her right now, because of that little laugh. Bad timing. He feels betrayed, and is angry at the whole situation. She needs to be understanding of his feelings right now, to guide him, to support her soulmate. As she thinks this, she concludes that this is a good thing, a proper test for a couple. Can they get past a problem like this? Besides, she finally gets to see Franc's angry side. Yesterday, at the Water Clowns, it seems like he couldn't accept losing. Now he's in full fury from today's debacle. He's never shown this side of himself, but he trusts Marie enough to not hide it away.
They weren't laughing at your amazing performance. They're reminded of another character when it looks like this. They thought you were performing as the Cowardly Lion. The sun and the makeup forced you to make his face a perfect mimic to that lion. A perfect mimic. They didn't know what you were trying to do. They just assumed your act was of the Cowardly Lion.
They called me a coward?
No, they thought you were performing another role. Haven't you seen The Wizard of Oz? Maybe read the old book?
What is this, in a movie?
Marie tells us the basic story of The Wizard of Oz. She focuses on the characters, partially her favorite of the Tin Man, but mostly of the Cowardly Lion. Franc's face scowls as he hears the blasphemy. Then it settles on disappointment.
This is stupid. Why do they think of that lion? You say it's the costume and the sun? It was hitting me pretty hard.
I think a few people were having issues. My problem was the feathers. Would you like to try? Not as easy as you think. I already surprised you twice yesterday, didn't I? What's one more?
Franc relents, and the two exchange costumes behind an SUV. No need to be cited for public indecency. This is not quick. Marie needs to twist, pull, contort, and shuffle her way inside. Franc needs to lean against his car to not fall over at the feather's sway. He tries to walk in it, but stumbles repeatedly.
This lion getup is so tight in weird places. Who can move in this? How'd you manage to pose so much?
I am a gifted thespian. That aside, how can anyone dance in this thing? It's terrible.
I know, right? I couldn't walk straight in. Here, try to bend over and stand right back up.
Franc bends over as far as he can go. He quickly straightens up and immediately falls backwards. Marie catches him, nearly falling herself. The two stand there, letting this all set in.
These costumes are shoddy. It's sabotage, as you say. For all that hard work, to be thrown away by bad craftsmanship.
And the sun.
And the sun. Yes, that blasted flashlight. Everything is ruined. We were laughed at.
You were laughed at. They ignored me. I didn't even get a glance.
They climbed me this. You look so beautiful in this. How can no one lose themselves in you?
How can anyone interpret your technique as anything other than perfect? The crowd's a bunch of idiots.
Agreed. They deserve the idiocy of the other pairing. The mountain and river? Pah!
Well, you don't normally see Mount Everest next to the Ganges River. I have no idea how they are able to move wearing such bulky costumes. They probably made them themselves. I think that goes against the rules.
Likely they cheated, yes. But we were originals. An honest man and woman trying our hardest against the elements. We were the best out there.
Hands down.
They start the arduous process of removing these costumes, soon to be in the garbage. While doing so, Marie internally sighs in relief. She just saved the relationship, weathered the cyclone. Now it's a free and easy ride, a life to be cherished. So, it wasn't the dance itself. It was the other factors weighing and forcing the test. They passed. Wait, it wasn't the dance itself. It was the other factors weighing in and forcing this test. They passed, easily. It could have been bad, but everything's in the clear now. Marie thinks of Chelsea, the little miracle worker. She'll have to pay her another visit, but thank you. The two sneak back to the band to retrieve their clothes and things. They're in fairly tight light clothing, but few people seem to know this. They quickly find their way over and redress. The rest of the day is spent watching the dancers, a feeling of regret and a bit of anger when some other couple are crowned king and queen. The fork and the spoon, ugh, how stupid. Alex, still manning the booth, is surprised to see the two of them again. Another few games of jugs, this time with a bed sheet. Franc, inexperienced at throwing a softball, fails in his attempt. Marie succeeds again at hers. Franc resorts to kicking the softball, scoring a one-hit KO. It's against the rules, but Alex doesn't say anything. He doesn't want to see the angry man again. Marie doesn't say anything either, as it's all fair to her. Alex presents him with their prizes, a new T-Rex doll made of rubber and a bag of pods. Alex never disappoints. Scene 6. A dream. Evening sets in, and the festivities end. Well, the official one at least. The restaurants and bars will have a very excited and vibrant patronage tonight. The streets will be crowded with partygoers and impromptu dancers. Marie is eating ice cream, chocolate with sprinkles. Franc and her watch the dancers, quickly mocking the bad ones to themselves. Quietly. Misery loves company.
This has been like a dream.
A fantasy fanfare. Carnival is amazing for the heart.
You can say that again.
Carnival is amazing for the heart.
You're my king.
Not yet. I am but a prince.
Well, when you become king, give me a courier's call. I'll come riding in 100 horses.
Becoming king is difficult. It requires a very special event. One with a very special person.
Oh, what kind?
Let me demonstrate.
Franc releases Marie and takes a step back. He gives her a full bow, then goes down to one knee. Marie looks for a moment before she recognizes his pose. She covers her mouth, hiding a frantic smile. This is... To become king, I must have a ceremony, one of white, of doves, of bells and rice, ringing in cheers, many people, food, wine, a happy day. If I am fortunate enough to experience this, but it may never come to pass.
Why not?
To have the celebration, I must have someone to celebrate with, to become king. Frank looks right up into Marie's eyes, catching them in full. She doesn't notice him reaching into his pocket, bringing forward a small case. A flip as it opens. Her eyes now drawn to the sound. Inside is a ring. Marie is stunned silent. I must have a queen. Do you know of anyone who would wish to join me? Perhaps a feisty young maiden? Though I am partial to peacocks. Marie falls atop Frank, who stands to catch her. A reversal of earlier today. She grasps at his waist, burying her head into his chest. Tears stream, nose sniffles, body shivers. Frank hugs back, saying nothing. They hold this for 5 minutes before Marie speaks. Sniffs strangely.
I think I know one person who'd be interested. He's got your courier and is ecstatic.
Then what is my queen?
Didn't you hear my horses? They're behind me. I'll sing yay, yay.
I thought horses said nay.
These are better ones. You'll like them.
Then they shall carry us off, together, united, my queen.
My king.
This is how their engagement began. After 2 days of Carnival, 2 young lovers joined hands to begin the next stage of their lives. It was after this point that Frank's behavior suddenly changed. From his amazing boyfriend to the tyrant fiancé, the cyclone Marie had thought she'd avoided, she was walking right into. The next year with Frank is a time of darkness, and Kevin her light at the horizon. Prelude. Marie finishes her tale of Carnival. Her last good memory is with faux Frank. She and Kevin lie there for a few moments before the door opens. Alright, and we move on to Part 8, the investigation. Alright. Scene 1. April interrupts. April stands in the doorway, looking at the 2 lovebirds. She enters and casually sits at the foot of the bed. The 2 lie there, stunned, embarrassed.
Oh, don't act so shocked. You weren't exactly quiet. And besides, I knew you still had feelings for him. April, we're practically naked here. I've seen you naked, and him shirtless, so there's no issue.
No issue, she says. How much did you hear?
I tuned out for your privacy, but did get a good earful at the beginning. Like Marie calling, okay, we don't need to go into what you heard. It's not that embarrassing. Lots of couples say that in the moment.
You heard that. Well, at least it was just April.
Kevin, it's... never mind. You're right. At least it was just April. Not that big of a deal. See? No worries between best friends.
So, what brings you to our bed?
Kevin, he's not wrong. Hopefully you continue to share this bed. I know you've been happier when you're Kevin than when around Frank. I doubt anyone else noticed, but it was clear to me. April.
Though I never expected you to celebrate your promotion like this.
I figured more of a party or something. April, that's not all there is to this, I know. There's your love and everything.
April, please, give us some credit. A reward for becoming a manager is yet to come.
Oh, well then.
Really? I have yet more to teach you, much I have learned in our time apart.
From who?
I study.
Study who?
I looked into myself and found the answer.
So,
pegging? Ew!
I guess Mom was right, sorta.
Oh, jeez.
Anyway, your party aside, I would like to congratulate you, your efforts, and the new job. Thank you. I surprised myself.
What brought this on, after years of just serving coffee?
After the other night, when we were about to become shish kebab, I gave some thought to what I wanted, what I could accomplish in the time I had left. What could I accomplish in the time I had left? You got your degree, dreams to become a reality. I wanted to say, to be to have something more. So I decided to go for it and asked Joe. He agreed immediately, and here we are. I still have so much studying to do, but he's going to teach me.
Joe's a good man. I always liked him. That night was a revelation, wasn't it? Frank showing up and doing what he did.
It was like faux Franc every turn. That doesn't make up for everything he's put me through.
April slaps Marie's leg from above the covers.
Then let's get to business, shall we?
I was listening on the other side of the door, once you stopped. How would you know that?
The vibrations.
The two blush, averting their eyes away from April. She just smiles and continues.
I heard everything Marie said. Her thoughts on Franc.
I already knew the carnival story. Shame your engagement party was during the celebration. That was a dick move.
Yes, it was.
It makes sense, given how much of an evil prick he is. Evil sounds about right. It's more than you know, too.
What else is there?
Let me tell you.
There's a side to Franc you don't know about.
No one knows, except me and maybe a few unpleasant types. There's a secret he's kept from you, amongst who knows how many. I learned this 2 weeks ago. Was it actually 2 weeks ago? I'm going to check on that. So, part 5, which is the same date as part 4. 5 is Saturday, May 14th. And this is when they made, yeah, so it's 2 weeks ago. Wait. Or perhaps, hold on. That's when the drug thing happened, but she figured him out earlier than that. Hold on. So it's not quite accurate then. It's technically the engagement party, or the PhD party that did it. This. 2 to 3 weeks ago. And 3.
If this shit's saying Craig is to be believed, which at this point I think we should, then Franc has no morality whatsoever, and no thoughts to others. Those marks on your face are signs as well.
Who's Craig?
My dear there.
Well, for my dear there.
What would Craig know about Franc, other than... Wait, you mean, did he kill him?
No, that's not what I meant. I'm sure there was a fight between them, but not for the reason you think. Certainly he was protecting you, but if I were alone with Craig and Franc saw... He not help you? Is that what you're saying?
Precisely.
And more so. I guess he can't let someone else hurt his trophy. Marie holds a hand to Kevin's chest, looking up to her love.
Kevin, it's okay. I'm safe now.
Looks to April.
I guess he would leave you alone. There's not much to gain for him in saving you.
Oh, that's not the issue. He'd be thrilled to see me get stabbed, considering he already tried to kill me once. Rhea and Kevin stare at April, jaws partially dropped. Rhea quickly realizes this may well be true, that Franc tried to kill someone. But why? Why go after April? She can't fathom a reason. Maybe he doesn't need one? Is he truly that evil? How? When?
Through Craig, the man who was about to end me and Marie. The reason I went to kill him in the first place was because I thought he tried to kill me.
We have an extremely strenuous relationship.
It made sense, given I'd made a fool of him in front of his boss.
You met his boss? The supplier, I guess?
Yes, Craig had just skimped me off some stuff, so I followed to confront him.
We can note the time that it happened. This was on the first day. That was May 3rd. Yes. Craig had skimped me on some drugs. See, this is pretty close to a month ago, so I'll keep that.
So I followed him to confront him. He went to a construction site where a man in all black clothing was waiting. He spoke in fluent cowboy. I'm not kidding. At the same time, the right time during their conversation, I revealed myself. April, that was stupid. These types kill people without a thought. I had just gotten my PhD and was soon to earn a lot of money. There's no way they'd harm such a couch cow. Besides, the supplier was in full garb. He actually took precautions, unlike Craig.
Okay, so what next?
I revealed what Craig had been doing, overcharging for his own gain, something the boss man didn't like. Of course, he wasn't approving of Craig leading me to him, but he knew I was worth more alive than dead. April, it's all right, but now we get to the good part. Craig, at one point, angrily shoved me right into the boss man's chest. And let me tell you, that was one iron-hard wall. The man's built made an impression on me, one I wouldn't forget, and one I'd re-experience the next week.
So, the next week you meet up again?
Almost. I did meet with Craig again. The boss man arranged for me to get something better. Some better stuff. Worth $1,200 as compensation for what Craig did. What I got was sunflower, which cost several $1,000s per ounce.
All right. Which costs that much per ounce, much less 3.
Craig wouldn't waste such expensive stuff on me, and in fact held back an ounce. So it wasn't he who planned to kill me. I'm still not quite following here. So Craig gave you the dawnflower, but what? Alright, I'll try to be clearer. The drugs I got were not the ones the boss man promised. I got dawnflower, which is far more expensive than what I was supposed to receive. When Craig handed it over, alright. He made no mention of the boss man changing the drugs, and even said I was to take it all for it to work. Now, Craig took out an ounce, which is why I'm alive. If he wanted me dead, he wouldn't do that. He'd also enjoy learning about me ODing, so clearly, he didn't know what he was given, and certainly wasn't trying to kill me, not at that moment.
Okay, so then his supplier wanted to kill you. Probably for safety, since you knew of him.
He did, and I also think it was for safety, but not for that reason. I also doubt he wanted to kill me back when we met at that construction site. That came afterwards, when I discovered his true identity. You see, we bumped chests a few times at my PhD party. First trying a secret greeting, second Julie demonstrating a proper chest bump by shoving me into him. Maria's eyes widen, her body trembles, realizing what this means. Kevin holds her close, remembering both incidents. His fears about Franc have exploded. At first, I wasn't sure. He's outwardly so nice, pleasant, beloved by all. Granted, I could tell there was something secret going on between you two. Other than the fact you've not been comfortable around him for months. I shook that feeling. Alright. Do this. I had a bad feeling, but shook it off. Back at the party. No. But shook it off. Alright. The fact that he saved us deterred me further. But There's no mistaking that feeling. Franc is a supplier, no question.
That bastard!
Franc is an a-hole of great caliber, profiting off of junkies, beating his fiancée, trying to kill people, and who knows what else he's doing at work. He's a devil in man's clothing.
A devil? Fitting for him.
Marie?
He has his obsession with hell, convinced that he can get good real estate by being as evil as possible. He told me last night, during the play.
Marie holds tightly.
I have to wonder what else he's up to. Does he do anything weird that you haven't given him much thought?
He goes out late at night sometimes, too. The drugs would probably be why. He's also up late at night in the study, maybe every other month. He says he's working, but at this point...
He's probably doing something nefarious. We have to get you out.
I'm already out.
It may be dangerous to leave his home so suddenly. We will need to prepare.
April, she can't stay there.
What are you thinking?
Clearly, we need to investigate what he's doing. If you leave now, you'll never find out what it is. Also, it may set him off. I recommend keeping him pleased for now, at least until we can move you out in a day.
This is ridiculous.
Marie reaches up and touches Kevin's cheek. She looks at him with pleading eyes. He looks back, worried.
Kevin, I want to know. I've managed to live with this monster for a year. I can handle him a bit longer. Please, let me do this.
Kevin thinks to himself, it's too risky to be with this devil any longer. She needs to get out. But April's right. He may do something terrible, especially if he learns where she went. That much is certain. How can they prepare? A lookout? An alarm? Something? A gun? Maybe he should get one, despite his feelings about them. He is built, but not combat trained. Franc seems to know what he's doing. Angering him prematurely would be dangerous. After a few minutes, Kevin makes up his mind. For now, you can stay with him. Put up a grand performance, because the second I can ensure your safety, you're staying with me. Smooch.
Deal.
With that settled, let's get to planning. The three brainstorm and finalize the details. They have to learn more about his drug business. April volunteers to follow, but Kevin objects. April's still recovering, so he'll go in her stead. Furthermore, if he's caught, he can make up an excuse. April, however, may never return if he catches her. It's too dangerous for her to be around him alone. His computer likely holds a lot of answers. Marie is not allowed in the study. There must be a reason. Marie will take this task while he's at work. Anything illegal, they'll tip off the police and hope the justice system takes care of it. Though, Franc could probably sense a sting, so it's unlikely that aspect will be resolved. Doesn't mean they can't fry him with whatever else is on the computer. Then there's getting Marie out. Her idea is to move things to Kevin's little by little. Franc shouldn't notice. Since the engagement, he's persuaded her to replace some of the visible things in their home with stuff he likes. He shouldn't notice for a while. If he asks, she will just say she got tired seeing it. In the coming days, she will slowly transition over to her love's home. Hopefully to be done within a week. With her plans in order, April heads back to her home to rest. Marie and Kevin stay together for a time longer. She eventually leaves to return to the devil's home. Kevin looks up alarm companies and good gums for home protection. Scene 2. Prying into privacy. The next morning, Monday, Marie heads in for work. She tells Franc she'll be pulling a double shift to cover for a work friend. He's free to stay at the park for as long as he wants. As long as he wants. All right.
He's free to enjoy some park soccer today. However, she doesn't really head open for work. In fact, she called in for an emergency day off. Around 8:30 a.m., long after Frank would have left, she returns. Her job today is here. Frank's study is a small room, housing a computer, boxes, and shelves. The computer is fairly new, and the desk is of fine quality. It sits at the end of the study. There are 3 bookshelves around the room, each stacked to the rim. The books are varied and all lie on their side. 2 shelves are against the right wall. One is against the right wall near the desk. One is against the left wall near the desk. The boxes are crammed between this left shelf and the door. Otherwise, there are a few nice paintings. Frank seems to enjoy some extravagance. Marie turns on the computer. Hopefully the password is easy. Turns on and starts right up. No login. Marie is surprised, but only for a moment. Frog must have thought none would dare to use this without his permission. Since he is not allowed in here in the first place, perhaps that makes sense. At first, she thought this arrangement odd, but had put the thought aside. With her recent discoveries, this makes complete sense. There's definitely something in here he doesn't want her to see. The company's desktop has mostly the basic icons. One, though, was labeled Special Projects. She clicks and finds various files about real estate, notes for Greg and calls to make. Marie knows Greg is Frank's boss, so maybe this is the extra work he was given. She checks the sort menu for anything good. Immediately, suspicious files pop up. She checks them in order, starting with charities. Charities holds a list of charitable organizations. He's been tracking how much he donates and when. There's also links to news articles. All of these detail how these charities are under investigation for fraud. Stars are marked next to some, apparently 1 per link. Each article is a separate investigation. He seems to be tracking the charities that are most likely to be corrupt. He also noted how well they've gotten away with this crime. The most money donated is on the highest starred one. Marie is confused, but supposes this fits his hell idea. He's giving money to people based on how criminally capable they are. Maybe this is his kind of charity. He gives money to those he deems are doing a good job. She's disgusted. Click on the next file. Thoughts has a file for everyone he knows, a kind of journal. It's in German, so there's some translation that needs to be fed through Google. What she gets is a bit messy, but the meaning is clear. He sees everyone as lesser beings, who are to be used by greater creatures, such as himself. His manager friends will be lost without him. He's trained them to be dependent on him. Even Greg fell for everything, easily cowed into desiring Frank. He especially notes that promotion is all mine. Marie can't stomach her entry. The translation may be off, but there's no mistaking this. My puppy is very beautiful. I love showing them off to smaller people. I spent a lot of time editing her and teaching her to stop fighting as much. She has learned to be more quiet when I speak. I'm the one making decisions while she sits and watches in awe. Recently, she tried to usurp my power by ranking higher than me before I could. She should stay by my side, comfort me, obey me as a dog should. She's rebelling like that bitch April. I should have stopped Marie when she was tailing her to make sure the events took their course and ended up dead. I shall have to tear them apart once we're married. In fact, she will not leave the house unless she is accompanied by her master. I still have so many lessons to teach her. She will learn even if I have to keep breaking her. This is the duty of a master. Marie closes this shit and tries the next one. Work is not about his job here at Scale Up Machine Robotics. It talks about another company called Robotics Perfection. It details what Summer has been doing regarding Robotics Life, a UK company. The various projects Summer has done are all here in great detail. Everything it's done in general, including various pay cuts. There is a list summarizing all this. Connect with your customers, provide localized services to the community, to be administered frequently. Sponsor large events to be inclusive of the community and to promote yourself. Save as much money as possible. Cut unnecessary expenses, even the wages of the lowest workers. Keep managers happy. They are a necessity. Invest in local real estate for a rainy day fund. Marie heads into Franc's emails next, and boy, these are a doozy. Aside from the usuals and stuff for his real estate research, there's a few suspicious ones and many others in German. The German ones are all from Robotics Perfection. They started 2 years ago and have continued every other month since. It appears that Franc has been working for another company all this time. He was sent over to get into summer and learn about them. Their projects and inner workings are on file here, so that must be what he's been passing along. He's been reporting regularly from around 12 a.m. to 2 a.m., exchanging multiple emails. Marie wonders about this time frame, so checks on the time difference between... Wonders about this. Germany and California, 9 hours. These emails would have arrived at the start of the workday for them. Franc must be an industrial spy. The other suspicious emails. Franc is an industrial spy. The other emails are all from weird addresses, but are labeled the same, drops. They are in English and just list places, times, and amounts in ounces. This is evidence of Franc's drug trade, of his supplier, and it's just sitting here. It would be easy to turn this over to the police, but the messages aren't enough. She needs to find the actual stash, and he wouldn't be dumb enough to store it here. Or would he? The computer has no password, and he hasn't deleted these emails. Could he be hiding some in this room? This might be why she's not allowed inside. Ray looks under the paintings. Nothing. No secret safe or even a hidden baggie in the back of the canvas. She checks the books, thinking that some may be hollow. They feel alright, none are lighter than they should be. And she's pulling books from under each other and trying to cram them back in, a thought comes to mind. Why are these on their side instead of standing up? Marie tries to move one of the right shelves away from the wall, but it's too heavy. Franc's been out of the home for an hour by this point. There's plenty of time left to investigate, or to call someone over. Marie calls Kevin, asking for his help. He leaves work early, heading straight over. He's through the door in 20 minutes. Okay, what are we doing? Finding Franc's stash. Really? It's in here somewhere? Not in, like, a hollow stump in the park? Maybe where he plays soccer? I can't deny the possibility, but I think he wouldn't risk some dog sniffing it out. I mean, what if a kid found it? He'd either get really sick or turn it in. Yeah, Franc wouldn't want lots of profits. The drugs are here, I'm sure of it. Look at these books, they're on their sides. Now, isn't that suspicious? I guess it does make it less messy to move. Exactly. I'll get onto it then. Stand back. Wait. What? We should wear gloves or something. If there is something back there and we call the cops, we don't want our prints all over the place. Good thinking. How manager-like. I am quite talented, aren't I? I'll just use the ones you wore when using his computer. Do you get your talent in spurts? We'll clean these. No, we noticed that. We'll think up something later. Maybe do the keys just before you finish moving out, then we tip off the cops. Yeah, we can do that. Then it's settled. The gloves? Oh, right, I'll get them. Ray goes into the kitchen and returns with 2 pairs of kitchen gloves. She puts on hers and then his. Kevin strikes a pose. Ah, yes, a fashionable sense of gloves fitting for a diva. Yes, a real diva you are. I can show you all sorts of tricks I can perform with these on hand. Okay, enough of that little talk, Romeo. Get moving. Stand back now. I don't want to hit your head. Kevin grabs the shelf and tries to move it. It's too heavy to just pick up, but he can shuffle it little by little. Shuffle. So, have you learned anything else? Franc's dedicated to his evil path. How so? I found a list of charities he donates to. Shuffle. How is that evil? He only gives the corrupt ones to those who are con men like him.
It's like his version of charity is giving to those who earn his respect.
That's kind of messed up. And a bit weird. Shuffle. Actually, do I have a sound I can make for that? No. I'm sure I have something around here I can use. I don't think I do. Oh, that's unfortunate. Just have to say each time.
That's the light stuff. His work is the next problem.
Is he planning to burn down the building?
In a sense, he's an industrial spy, sent over from Germany. He emails his real bosses every 2 months. I found a file where he lists some key points about his work there.
That's not too surprising at this point.
I'm thinking we tell Greg.
Greg, Shuffle. Is that his boss?
Yes, and I hear he's quite experienced.
Not experienced enough to realize Franc's not really on his team.
No one knew. He's that good.
But not smart enough to hide his bad side from you, Shuffle. I think he lets down his guard when he knows he's won.
You're not wrong there. He started to peel back the layers after I agreed to marry him. God, I was on track to be his trophy wife.
You are a trophy.
What?
You glisten wherever you go. You stand out amongst the crowd. You are your mother's pride. Everyone with any sense would want you. Bree tries to push back a smile, but fails miserably.
Well, it takes a special someone to realize that.
Shuffle. All right, get your head under there.
Kevin, we can do that after we're done here.
But I want it now, Stump's foot.
You'll have to be patient.
Poop's nose. Marie gets on all fours and pokes her head around the back of the shelf. She turns to look behind the other one. She retracts slowly.
Nothing.
Then the other shelf. I'll just put this one back. Shuffle.
We can do that later. Let's just quickly check the other one.
You're the boss. Shuffles the other one. So, you manage charities and work. And now you're dealing with drugs. What else does the guy have going on?
Only thing left was his journal. It's disturbing.
I'll be here for a while. Sure.
I can't be sure of everything. I had to run it through a translator.
It was in German? That dastard.
Basically, it sees everyone as lesser beings. Their role is to be used by superior beings.
As lesser creatures.
To be used by superior beings like himself. He programmed friends to be dominant on him. Even Greg. He's certain he's going to be promoted.
Well, we can fix that. How will we tell Greg? This isn't something we should just be done with the phone. Grr.
We can call and sound mysterious. Allude to having a great secret that can spell doom for his company.
Oh, I like that. Put on some flair and ham it up a bit.
Keep it real. We need him to agree on the meeting.
A park, then. That's real secret agent stuff.
No raincoat, though.
Are you kidding? We'd be toasting Mayweather. Give me some credit. Oh, alright. I've made a lot of space.
I'm going in.
Marie once more ducks down and peers behind the bookcase.
Aha! There's a splotch of paint on the wall. It doesn't match at all. A terrible job. I think I can see the gaps at the edges. Just let me jostle this a little.
Ah. Of paint on the wall. What a terrible job. Standing by.
All right, there's a bag in here. A satchel.
Let's not pull it out too far. Just unzip it. Shoop.
Holy, there's so many bags and bottles in here.
Do they have bags in bags?
Yes, the big ones have labels. The names. Inside are the little baggies.
He's organized. I'll give him that.
But careless. A decent search of the room could have found this.
Not like he expected you to go against his orders.
Someone could have found this during the party.
Few could have moved that shelf without a sound.
I guess. Well, that's that then.
Yeah, I'll get doing this all back. Did you zip it up?
No, I'll do that now.
Zip.
Okay, it's all set.
That's why I'm here. So, we're in agreement then. We wait until you're out, and then we tip off the cops.
I think we alert them to the meetups, so they can find him themselves.
Good idea. Keep our hands off as much as possible. Maybe a week after the move?
I think so.
Hopefully, Frank doesn't notice his house getting emptier.
He won't. He only has eyes for what he cares about. None for my things, or my well-being.
You're almost in the clear. I've been researching some things that help keep us safe. Though, if they bag him while he's meeting with his dealers, his little servants, he should be in jail and away from us.
You'll pay the bond. He has the money.
Oh, right. What's going to happen with your mom's house?
I don't know. We'll see if we can get out of it without hitting another bottomless pit of debt.
I actually had an idea about that. Since you'll be living with me and you're getting quite a bit of money as a manager, we could both chip in and get her that house. Kevin, I don't fancy material wealth that much anyway. If it makes you happy, it makes me happy.
My prince, I'll be honored to have your assistance at the time of need.
I'm not a prince, I'm a duke.
Right.
Just trying to distance myself from Frank.
Well then I'm in your debt. Sir Duke.
Bows. Okay, this one's in place. Wait, did you replace the false wall?
Of course I did.
Okay, so I don't have to move it again?
You could, just to show off.
You could help me with the other ones. We'll be tackling problems together from here on out, won't we?
Yes, we will. But I think I'll pass on that shelf, a bit too laborious for me.
Then how about the computer?
I should turn that off, shouldn't I?
Probably. Marie sets the computer and closes the various windows. She quickly turns it off, not wanting to touch this thing again. Meanwhile, one more thing.
What is it?
You told me about what he thinks of other people. What did he say about you? That bad, huh? It wasn't at least sort of flattering.
Not one bit. To call me his obedient puppy and other things. I'll tell you later. I don't want to think about this right now.
No probs.
Right now, we have things to move.
I'll say. I'll get that. Okay, that one's back.
I mean, I have some clothes and drawers in the closet.
I should clarify that. Okay, that one's back. You can take the last one. Frog may not notice your thing's missing, but won't the empty space draw attention?
Ah, crap, you might be right.
We can buy some cruddy clothes and replace them.
I like that idea.
Afterwards, when he may finally notice, it'll be a real hard hit. Be a real hit. Stick it to the narcissist, psychopath, superior being.
It'll be a nice little cherry on top.
Then, shall we get to loading?
Let's.
Scene 3. Stalking Frank. That Wednesday, Marie asks Frank if he plans to go out drinking with his friends. He replies with a yes, and they banter for a bit. Marie passes the information to Kevin. Is it a Wednesday? Let's see. If he does him Tuesday. But he does that Wednesday. Let's make this a Tuesday, I think. Because that is the day that he did his. So the day he'll do theirs. So let me adjust this a tiny bit. Down do here. Alright, so it looks like I don't need to. Alright. Marie passes information to Kevin. He walks through her home that night and waits for Frank's departure. After 45 minutes, his time has come. Frank exits the home, locking the door behind. He quickly walks away, wearing a bag over his shoulder. Kevin stays back half a block, hiding behind cars and trees. Frank never once looks behind him. Maybe he's confident that no one would be out this late. Would follow a man taking a midnight stroll. These thoughts are soon put to rest. Frank heads into an alley, ducking behind a dumpster. He opens the bag and pulls out black clothing. Kevin can barely see the clothes from around the corner, but pulls back. In a few minutes, he hears the bag zip up and footsteps heading that way. A peek around the corner reveals a man in all black exiting the alley. Kevin stays on Frank's tail. He's getting a little nervous about confirming this secret identity. Frank briskly walks for another 30 minutes, finally pulling away from the sidewalk into a small park. This park has a bathroom and a few huddles of trees and bushes. Kevin hides amongst the plants, watching the bathrooms, where he presumes Frank is heading. Sure enough, Frank beelines straight for them. He checks the stalls, makes a little nod, and walks into another huddle of bushes. In 15 minutes, a woman arrives. She's dressed casually, but with a jacket and a hat, barely concealing. She pulls out a lighter and holds it out. And holds it. Retrieves a lighter. Granting a tiny bit of light. After 30 seconds, Frank heads out to her. The two chat and make an exchange. Some cash from her to him, and some little bags from him to her. Kevin wonders where he gets this stuff. At the very least, he needs a better hiding place for it. Well, that services him and Marie in the long run. For when they call the tip line. The woman leaves, but Frank just walks into the foliage again. 20 minutes later, a man walks up holding something. He flicks on a flashlight and points into the second stall. After 20 seconds, Frank walks out again, and the two exchange. This man leaves, and Frank returns once more to his hiding spot. How many people does he meet? Kevin thinks. They seem to each have a specific way to signal him. He's very careful indeed. Another approaches, this time with a phone light over the water fountain. They do their thing and separate. Instead of hiding again, Frank finally leaves. He heads back a different way from where he came. Once more, he stops in an alley to change. Kevin keeps falling up until Frank is back inside his house. Kevin has made note of everything and will debrief Marie and April the next morning. Okay, so let me note the time then. Okay, I don't need to. Scene 4, Spy Game. Thursday, Kevin calls Craig. He muffles his voice and attempts an accent. He informs Craig of a great threat to the company, and that involves Bog's life. He will tell more in person. Craig agrees to meet him in the park at 2 p.m. Kevin and Marie arrive at the park around 1:45 p.m. They take a seat on the grass. I should have brought a blanket.
It's okay. Grass stains aren't a big deal.
I don't think we'd look too good to Greg if we had green bottoms.
You won't see them. We'll approach from the front and never turn around.
Sounds good. Okay. How are we doing this?
Just walk up, sit down, and tell him everything.
Alright, we can just wait here until he shows up.
It's okay, honey. This will go just fine.
10 minutes pass. They make small talk, looking around occasionally. It's too early for Greg, but he may show up. It's too soon, but Craig may show up early. Don't see him yet.
No, do you?
No one's acting suspicious, so presumably no.
I don't think he'd be acting all sorts.
Then I can't spot him. It's all up to you.
Kevin, don't put all the pressure on me.
I can't help it. I don't know what he looks like. Marie's eyes dart around. She starts sweating. Kevin's eyes widen to stare at her. You don't know what he looks like?
I thought you did.
How would I know?
I thought you looked him up on the website or something.
Then why didn't you?
Because you were making the call. I thought you'd do all this spy stuff yourself.
Yeah, yourself.
Research what it looks like, his behavior, schedule.
Marie, I'm not a spy. How the hell would I learn all that?
Shit. We should have planned this better.
Pull out your phone. Look him up right now. Alright, what's some exclamation points there? Marie and Kevin both pull out their phones, practically trying to type out a search. They typo, backspace, and typo again. It's not going well. For about 5 straight minutes of failing, Kevin manages to get Scale Up Machine Robotics into the search bar. He navigates the menus and finds Greg's picture. Okay, we got him. He looks like this.
Okay, we're fine now.
It's about time for him to show up too. We dodged a bullet.
Yeah, alright. I check left, you check right.
I'll get back, you get front.
Agreed.
They scan the park. First the left. A kid plays with his dad, his mom watching by a tree. To the right, no one. In front, a group of friends cross the street. Behind. Kevin says nothing.
Kevin, how's it look back there? Kevin?
Marie turns to look at Kevin. His eyes are saucers, staring directly behind him. She follows his gaze to a man sitting on a bench 30 feet back. A newspaper sits in his lap. He's looking right at them, his face full of disappointment. Greg has been watching, and he's not impressed.
Kevin,
Greg stands, idly turns, and starts walking away. Marie leaps up and runs over.
Wait. I'm Marie, Franc's fiancée.
Greg stalks on a dime, turning quickly to look at her. Certainly, you. Look what I've been described. Those isn't exactly an office party.
We can explain. We just need a bit of your time.
You've wasted plenty. Granted, I did show up an hour early, so that's on me. Though, the time I'll take back to the office. But we do have information for you. You're not aware of some things. You need to know. Kevin shakily stands on the grass, meandering over to the bench. A big plop and a bit of a squish as he grinds some wet dirt into the bench. Into the seat. A blanket would have been good forethought, as would have looking at my face. Since you appear to be his fiancée, I'll give you a chance. This had better be good. Greg sits at the other end of the bench, rejoins Kevin. The two avoid getting too close to Greg. He's exuding a fearsome energy. Let me get first. I'll just air out some things.
Okay.
You, looks at Kevin, never attempt a French accent. That was terrible. And use an actual voice changer, 'cause being your mouth isn't good enough. If you hadn't mentioned real, I'd have hung up on the spot. And to both of you, research everything beforehand. Think it all out. Account for anything that can go wrong. Even then, be prepared to change plans on the fly. You two aren't cut out for this. Not as the spring chicks you are. Yes, sir. We did fuck up a bit. You sat before your mark, B, without realizing it. You casually hung out until the time I was to arrive, never thinking that I might already be here. You were together when I only spoke... We're together. I only spoke with one on the phone. Alright. I always spoke, despite the fact that I only spoke with one on the phone. You didn't know what I looked like and worked your phones in a panic. It was funny, but I'm not here for a comedy act.
Sorry, sir, we didn't.
Spare me. Get down to business. What do you know? Ray has heard so much about Greg, how he's easygoing and chill. Is this really the same guy? She pushes these thoughts aside. Clearly, Franc's understanding of this man is completely wrong.
We have learned some things about Franc that you need to know.
He is a spy for a company in Germany, where he found the emails proving it. Do you have them?
No.
You didn't print them out?
We don't have a printer.
Photos, video. You have a phone. That would have been a good idea.
You can't sell a story with just words. You need proof to go with it. If you ever plan on doing this again, which I don't recommend, run your plans by someone who has some sense.
Sir, no wait, that's not important. Surely you've noticed something off about Frank since he started working for you?
We know he's very charming and good with people, but it's all a lie. He must have realized something was afoot. What's your relation to this woman? A friend? Yes, and you two just happened to be evading Frank's email.
We learned some things about him that spurred us to investigate.
What things? Do tell.
I suppose we can tell him a bit. It's about time anyway. Greg, take a look at my cheek.
I'll wipe it off. Kevin wipes off Marie's makeup and reveals bruises and a cut. Greg glances over. Abusive.
Yes, it's been going on for some time.
So you shacked up with a friend here and are leaving Frank. Yes, that's very astute of you. Kid, I've been in the business for decades. I have a wealth of life experience. This isn't surprising. But Frank's been so different. That's a surprise, isn't it? Not really.
What?
You seem to be under the impression that I never noticed. Well, technically, my right-hand manager noticed first. She informed me, and we've been on to him since.
You knew he was a spy?
Easily. He didn't hide it at all well. Thinks too highly of himself. Really shows the incompetency of his employers.
Then why did he still work for you?
Since you're just starting in this business of secrets, let me ask you something. What is the role of a spy?
To gather information.
And do what with it? Tell his bosses? Exactly. Now, I'm sure you're unaware, but there's a famous company in the UK that's going to sell soon. They won't sell to just anyone. They want people in the same business sense and values as them. They have a little list they're going to reveal soon, very soon in fact. I know this because I have an inside line, one who told me their criteria 2 years ago.
Would this be the special project Frank has talked about?
They are. Now, there's the obvious stuff, customer service, community aid, etc. Then there's the less obvious things. I have those I trust most deal with them. I've given Frank some faulty information and tasks. I'm sure you passed those on, right?
There was a file with a list that said, connect with customers, provide services to the community, sponsor events, save money, and invest.
Good, he passed on those last two. Both are the wrong end of what this UK company wants. They like to give to the community while not sacrificing their employees. I kept Frank on board so he could sabotage some competition. Makes me so happy to hear he fell for it. That's quite cutthroat. Though, isn't it risky telling us all this? The criteria will be coming out in a couple of weeks. Too late to catch up now. Also, this is business, so there's no mercy here. I'm personally insulted that Frank was the agent they sent, and not someone who was actually capable of the job. Though, I suppose he went over his bosses in Germany, like he half-assedly tried over here. You know, there's more to work than just a job. He's not personable in the right way. That mark on your cheek is proof of it. Marie is stunned silent. She thought this was going to be a hard sell. Greg is not only convinced, but he knows everything already. She does feel relieved that there's someone out there. That there is someone in the world who can pierce through Frank's veil. Anyway, thanks for informing me. As a reward, when were you thinking of running off? We just about finished moving. She stays with me starting tomorrow. Then a farewell gift to someone who must have suffered greatly behind closed doors. I shall inform Frank tomorrow of something I've wanted to say for a very long time. I recommend not being around afterward. Sounds fitting. He gets an earful and comes home to find his prized possession gone.
I accept this gift.
Then we should be off.
Yes, we shall.
Linda, the mom with the kids and man walk up. She's beaming with a huge smile. Linda at your service. I'm the one who sniffed out Frank.
and can't wait to see his face tomorrow. Thanks for showing that he's a true bastard, an enemy to women and men alike. I wish you luck with you and your boyfriend. Greg, let's get to work. I had my right hand here. Watch, that's just in case. It's standard practice. Consider it my final lesson on your pre-tutorial. Greg and Linda start heading off. Oh, we can blacklist him, can't we? That much was obvious. I'm thinking the entire state. They make their exit, leaving Marie and Kevin in shock. They accomplish their goal, sort of. They're left feeling awkward, but look past this odd meeting and forward to their future. Starting tomorrow, Marie will be living with Kevin and away from the devil. Okay, that's good through there. I just have the finale and epilogue left. I'll probably do that tomorrow since Thursday's going to be busy. Maybe I can do it on Thursday. Well, we'll see.